Hi, I'm Chris and thanks for joining me on this episode. So as per the title on this video, we're going to be putting the chassis together and all the interior together. And fortunately enough, it wasn't too complicated of an assembly. It was actually really decent to put together in all honesty and fairness. This was a little bit different. This is like the suspension strut arm as such. I've not seen one like that before. I don't know if that's how it looks on the real 350Z. I'm not sure. But as different as it looks, it fitted great. I will be honest. I'm just brushing the chassis work off, just trying to tidy it up. Didn't go overboard with detailing, just a little bit, just to make enough of it stand out as such. I don't go crazy. I don't go mad. 99% of the time, I'm not really going to see it once it's put on display. I don't often pick it up to look underneath it. I pick it up to look around it. So I do keep the chassis work to a bare minimum a lot of the time. This one, I thought I'd put some detail into it for sure, for the nature of the build. My first Aoshima Ambassador build. I thought I'd try and do a bit more than usual in places, so I didn't mind doing a bit more detailing if I could on the underneath on the chassis, and I also tried my very best to detail up the dashboard centre console, which you'll see in a short while. So back to the assembly part of this build. Like I say, I really quite enjoyed it. It was quite a pleasant kit to put together, actually, to be honest. And I think the chassis work and the interior, gluing it all together, I would say it was less than 30 minutes. Yeah, really happy. It went together really nicely, and yeah, I couldn't ask for more, really. That's what we want at the end of the day, isn't it? As modelers, we like it when things go together nicely, when things are a little bit easier. When that happens, it does take the stresses away, and the less stress you have, the less chance of making any mistakes. So it's been really nice to work on this kit, I'll be honest. It has been very nice. It's all gone very well, assembly wise, and I've really enjoyed it. I mean, this as well, this part here, the usual washing up liquid in a bottle cap, bottle lid, and just applying some washing up liquid to the poly caps within the back of the wheel hubs, ready to go onto the front pins on the front there. And again, like everything else on this build, it went on really easy. For the whole assembly, I literally just used a bog standard normal CA glue, super glue, and so yeah, the front subframe and suspension arms, whatever needed gluing was glued using super glue. Same with the back. On the back, the rear subframe and whatnot was already attached. I only needed to attach the rear disc brakes. As you can see there, freedom of movement, so which is quite nice as always. Again, so like I said, I just used normal super glue, glued everything down, and it held really nicely and really solidly as well. I thought it was really solid. With this kit, it's not often I see a kit like this, but metal rear axle slides through nice and easily. The good thing about these metal axles is you can force the wheels on, and you just know you're not going to snap the suspension arms and swing arms off anything, because it's on a metal axle, so you can push it on. But the front, even with the fronts, I'll be honest, they went on really nice. I as always, sometimes, I'm sure we all are a little bit cautious when adding wheels on, because sometimes, some of the assemblies can be a little bit thin, a bit flimsy, a bit fragile. But this one, front and back, the wheels went on really nicely. Yeah, I was just really happy. Yeah, it's gone really nicely. And then now we'll just putting the main bulk of the exhaust system on. It kind of like slots under there like that, as you see. Just doing a quick test fit, dry fit, just to see how it fits before gluing it down. Like I did with most parts on this. So I tried that front subframe as such, with the suspension arms, tried it, fitted it in place, made sure it was, you know, all fine and dandy. I did actually have to get my X-Acto blade, well, it's not an X-Acto, but I had to use my blade, just open the holes just a little bit, because I think there's too much build-up of paint on the front suspension. And what I wanted to do is, I wanted that freedom of movement, so I just slightly carved inside the holes where the suspension arms go in, just to give it a bit more freedom of and ease of turning the wheels, so it wasn't too stiff. Otherwise, everything, you know, yeah, it's all gone on fine. Dry fitted it, went on fine, took it off, applied some super glue, on it went, lovely jubbly, happy days. I have tried something different this video. I tried putting the camera in a different position, so it's kind of like almost facing me, it's at the side of me, facing the same way as I was facing. But even though I've put it facing me, I still ended up picking the parts up that I'm assembling, picking them up, doing them towards my chest off the camera. So we will get there one day where I will get a decent camera view, and you will see me being able to put together more instead of just, you know, all of a sudden, oh, it's assembled. This bit here, so with this kit, it actually comes with a nice straight pipe from the catback. So I was just, again, dry fitting it. Where does it go? Where does it sit? How much do I need to cut off from the old exhaust? It says about 1mm. So yeah, I just left a small stub on the back of the cat, and then just applied some super glue on the back of the cat box, and then some super glue where the back box, there's like a stem that comes off to the side, and it slots in. Yeah, went on fairly easy. Again, really happy. Now, what I didn't do with this is obviously the actual exhaust tip, huge, looks like a bucket. I didn't glue that on. What I wanted to do is wait until the body's on. So once I know the body's on, I can then glue that exhaust tip on, because it's not going to be an issue. It's going to be dead easy to do it. That way I can get the angle of the exhaust tip. Because sometimes what you would, you know, I've done it before, put the back box on, glued the exhaust tip on, but it's off at a funny angle, or a slight angle. You have to try and snap it off, re-glue it on. So I just thought, this time I'll just wait until the body's on, then I can glue the exhaust tip on. Here, again, another part of the subframe system. Just dry fitting it, make sure it fitted all right. Where did it go? Happy where it went. Happy that it fitted well. It fitted so well I had to get some tweezers to pop it off. Again here, just applying some dots of super glue. Yeah, I do give it quite a generous helping of the super glue. I'll be honest, this stuff that I get, it's, even though it's you know, just a normal CA super glue, it doesn't haze that much, which is awesome, really awesome. You know, sometimes we can get some glues and you can use the smallest amount and get the biggest bit of haze, but with this I can use a massive amount and still get only tiny bits of haze. But yeah, as you saw, the final assembly of that chassis, again, not super detailed, but for me, detailed enough. I was really happy. Now with this, the interior, this is the rear travel shelf as such. I wasn't happy with the moulded in flat speakers, so I got some fog lamp surrounds, cut off the backs to use the front rings, got some mesh, stuck it on the back, chromed them up, stuck them on to try and give it a more 3D look to the speakers. I'm not the greatest at scratch building, I'll be honest, so they wasn't great, but I think, you know, from a distance, it's added a bit of detail, a bit more detail, should I say, and yeah, I was happy with it. And as previously mentioned, you know, I tried detailing the dashboard and centre console up. I've never really seen the inside of a 350Z, so I gone onto Google to look for some reference photos of some, you know, 350Z interiors, and I really quite liked the centre console. It comes down. It was in like a aluminium sort of finish, sort of, you know, style, and I thought, you know, I quite like that. So I decided to do that on this one. So I've used the Tamiya flat aluminium, and I've just gone down the centre console. And yeah, I was really happy. Again, not super detailed, but much more than what I normally do. And I'll be honest, I'm super happy with this interior. It's up there as one of my favourite interiors actually. As simple as it looks, I just think it looks really nice. Sometimes they say less is more, I could have done a bit more detail maybe on the seats or something, I don't know. But I'm happy, yeah, I really like it. You know, sometimes I can feel a bit meh with some interiors, but with this one, yeah, no, I really like it, really happy. You know, I really took my time trying to detail it up, and it came out fine. I was, again, it's been nice, you know, the assembly of it, the look of it, the appearance, working on it, it's just been nice. And as you can see there, you know, it's not crazy detailed, but I think it's enough. For me, it's enough to make a difference, and it's enough to make it look nice. I personally think it looks nice, and again, yeah, I'm super happy, and I'm really pleased. You know, I'm really looking forward to the end of this kit to see how it all looks together, but in another breath, it's a shame because it's one of those I've enjoyed it. It's been a simple but really enjoyable build. You know, as you can see here from some of the pictures, and these pictures on the wheels with my macro camera on my camera feature, I still can't get over. I didn't clear coat them and how glossy they were. But here we are. The windows are stuck in, the spoiler's stuck on, and it's all polished up. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. All I've got to do now is just get some headlights on, some detailing up, and then we'll get the body on. So we're nearly finished. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Cheers.